Hello everyone, I hope everybody has had a great Christmas. And I want to wish you Merry Christmas if you're still having Christmas at the moment. So I just want to say I wanted to try something different, so that's why there's no camera today. Just wanted to do something different. I felt like a change. Just for today. But I wanted to talk about Brexit. So obviously they got a deal. For the European Union, obviously Britain's leaving. It took 4 years, would you believe? But yeah, Britain, the United Kingdom is they made the right decision because, as we know, the European Union are used in Ireland. Literally, Micheál Martin. You couldn't have a man like they couldn't wouldn't put up a fight to the EU, this country, this government, if it was the last thing they ever did. Um, because Micheál Martin just folds to them. He just literally folds straight away to me to Angela Merkel and the rest of them and Brussels. He's just terrified. He's mortified of them. He has no say because they're his masters. But at least Boris Johnson and the UK government want to leave and want to control themselves, and to decide themselves what they want and what their people want, and what's in their best interest. Now, just before I say anything else, the one thing that's probably going to affect Ireland the most, thankfully, there's no hard border. Um, there won't be any army towers and things like that. Because I was very annoyed. I was very worried about that. Because as somebody who lives on the border, you know, um, you wouldn't want the British Army on the other side of the border, and you wouldn't want trouble. That's what I was afraid of. For a long time, I was afraid of trouble could start, and there could be another troubles in Northern Ireland and everything, and just go on for years and years and years, and end up with thousands upon thousands of people dead. But thankfully, hopefully, please God, that would not happen. Um, um, but we have to think about the other issue too. Like this is something, I think Ireland has been robbed in this regard, because again the European Union is always throwing us down the lake anyway. And that's to do with fishing rights. As you know, Irish fishermen, back years ago we had it all, and that's as simple as that. Irish fishermen could go, you we had a huge amount of territorial waters, to fish and everything like that. Now, obviously, now the EU they just ruined our fishing industry. Like literally, they ruined it overnight. And this government, the government, Fianna Fáil and Fianna Gael, they're blamed for it because they signed it over to the European Union, saying, "Oh, you can take all the fish you want," and there's none left for the Irish fishermen. But sure, look at, as they say, we have to help the European Union, as Micheál Martin probably would say. They're more important than the Irish people. But anyway, that's Fianna Fáil's take on the matter. Um, because I hardly doubt they would care too less about Irish fishermen, because they never cared before really for them. But hopefully, we have to wait and see. But it's good that there's no hard border. That's one thing for sure. Um, but yeah, it's been a long 4 years because obviously it's been going on for 4 years, these talks. But thankfully, again, the biggest thing for me was the hard border and the British Army and the border, the Irish Army. Um, trouble. I didn't want trouble to start because that's what I was fearing. Um, but yeah, we wait and see what happens. There could be a scholarship in the referendum for independence. Because obviously the majority of people in Scotland, and Northern Ireland particularly too, they voted to remain in Europe. Um, and the UK, obviously the majority of people in the UK and the England, voted to leave. So there's a good bit of divided there. That half the like Northern Ireland and Scotland voted against leaving the European Union, but majority of people in England voted to leave. So yeah, it's kind of divided. But anyway, we wait and see what happens. It's certainly interesting to see what happens. I have a funny feeling Hungary and Poland probably will leave sooner or later the European Union, which I would say to them, you're the best of luck on it, because again, the European Union, um, it's not really doing any good for anybody. Let's put it that way. Only for the big powers, the big people at the top. It's not helping anybody out. It's just making people more miserable. It's making this country miserable anyway, because we have to pay back huge finances to them. And obviously they get everything they want of Ireland because this government just folds straight away to them. But anyway, take care everybody and bye.